We are hopefully concluding the introduction to the Tanya today, and we started mentioning the conclusion of the Alter Rebbe's his introduction and his questions, and to answer them, the Alter Rebbe says that I know all of these Hasidim who come to me often, and people who live in these countries nearby, and we have a great relationship. Dibor shel chiba, words of love and cherishing are found between us, and they've revealed to me all of the depths of their thoughts that are connected to serving Hashem. And because of that, the Alter Rebbe is saying, I'm not just writing a book and giving information, and it might not apply to people, it might not apply to everyone. This book is a compilation of all the things that I've found in every single individual who I've come in contact with and given advice, and they have poured out, their hearts to me in the past, and I've been giving them advice over the years, and that is the basis of this Tanya, of this book. It is encompassing every single person who has come to me in the past. And
Rabbi Smith.
Yes.
There's a lot of background noise. If you can mute everybody again.
Okay, great. You know what, David? I think I am going to make you a co-host.
Yeah, but I don't know how to mute people, but I can see who's not muted.
Yeah, let me let me show you. 1 second, David.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you co-host. Okay, now let's see if you can mute everyone. Let's see.
I don't know where that thing is.
Okay, go to the bottom. Click on participants?
Oh boy.
On the bottom of the whole page, you should see a stop video, mute, participants, security. Do you see participants? And says 17.
Yeah, I'm on a tablet, and then when I do the afternoon class, it's on a
computer
laptop. So yeah,
okay.
I can see exactly who's not muted.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to mute everyone. I'm just thinking if I could choose someone in the future to mute everyone, maybe. So let me mute everyone now. And so sorry, it's a little hard to remember every time. Keep on muting people. So the Alter Rebbe continues, and he says that I am writing this book having in mind everyone who has come to me and poured their hearts out to me. To them, Alehem titoif milasi. To them, my words flow. Ulashoni eit sofer, and my tongue is like the pen of a scribe. B'kontresim elu, and these booklets and these writings. Hanekroim b'shem lekutei amarim, that are called a gathering of statements. Melukatim, they're gathered mipi sfarim, from holy books, mipi soifrim, and from holy authors, holy teachers. Kadoshei elyon, nishmas hameden, the holy ones that their neshamas in Gan Eden. Hamaforsamim etzleno, that are very famous by us. And he's referring to the books that he's referring to. The Sfarim is the Maharal of Prague and the Shalah HaKadosh, and the great teachers are the Baal Shem Tov, the Maggid, and now he mentions other teachers of his who were in Eretz Yisrael. Initially, they were together with him studying by the Maggid, and then the Maggid passed away, and he continued studying from them, and then they moved to Eretz Yisrael, and now he gives them credit. And some of them are hinted to those that are wise. Some of the teachings here are hinted from the letters from the rabbis in Eretz Yisrael. Amen. May it be rebuilt very soon. And some of the things I heard directly from their mouth when they used to be here. And he's referring to Rabbi Menachem Mendel Haraduker. And that's, that's the main, and also maybe the Rabbi Avram Hamalach, V'kulam, but I mean, he didn't move to Eretz Yisrael, but maybe he's referring to him. And maybe that would be in the previous sentence. And we Seifrim Kadesh Elyon. In any event, and also Reb Avram Kalisker also moved to Eretz Yisrael, and the Alter Rebbe, was a close friend of his, and but mainly a student of Rabbi Menachem Mendel Haraduker. V'kulam hein tshuvos al she'elos rabbis. These are all answers on many questions asher shoyelin be'etza, that people would ask advice. Kol anshe shleimenu dimdinasenu, all the people of our country, tamid often, all the community members, kol echol afi erkai, everyone according to his situation, according to his level, lushes eitzos benafsham, to figure out advice about their soul, ba'avodas Hashem, and serving Hashem. So here, what the Alter Rebbe is saying is that he has a unique ability to relate to numerous people, and this is, of course, on a very simple level, on a practical level, on a very materialistic level, so to speak, not a spiritual. On a spiritual level, of course, the Alter Rebbe has a vision. He's able to relate to people, but even on a just a very practical level, the Alter Rebbe is saying, I personally know so many people who have poured out their hearts to him. Now, I was when I studied this, I always wondered. So is the Alter Rebbe saying like any therapist should be in a similar situation to be able to write a book about all the people they've given therapy to? And so I was trying to think about that on a practical level. Of course, we understand the Alter Rebbe had vision that all the psychiatrists and the therapists they didn't have. But what about on a practical level? For a skeptic that's studying this, would the Alter Rebbe have a certain quality that's greater than all these therapists or psychologists? And what comes to mind is that even when you go to a doctor, you don't really say the whole story. Very often, something's been bothering you for 2 months, and the doctor asks you, how long has it been bothering you? And you often say, well, 2 weeks. Why didn't you say 2 months? Because you're embarrassed. He's going to say, what? You just come to me now? You didn't call? You didn't do, right? So you sort of like switch. You don't always say the truth. And the same thing applies, of course, in therapy. I'm sure people, they're embarrassed to say the full truth, and they hide certain things. Here, we're talking about the Alter Rebbe, who people would come and pour out their hearts because they want to serve Hashem properly. It would seem that the Alter Rebbe had access to much more information than any other, psychiatrist or therapist would have. That is just a thought that comes to my mind, not to add anything, but just a thought. In addition to the fact that I wonder how popular therapists and psychiatrists were in the time of the Alter Rebbe. Freud was not until later. Freud came in the time of the Rebbe Rashab. Freud became popular. But before that, I wonder even if anyone was if it was people who were sick, you go to a doctor. But if people who had issues in their mind, I don't know if it was so popular to even have psychiatrists. That's another thought, that the Alter Rebbe had a very unique situation, being a leader of, and he wasn't a typical rabbi. He was a rabbi helping you serve Hashem. He wasn't telling you, oh, today you have to do this mitzvah and the way to do it is this. That wasn't his position as a rebbe. Was not to be a posek. It was not to be a community rabbi telling you, how to do certain mitzvahs. It was really serving Hashem. That's the uniqueness of a rebbe. And so he had people pouring out their hearts to him. So that's the main point over here. In the end, it just concludes with being that I'm not able to answer everyone anymore with the private audiences, and it's also people maybe forget a lot of things I've told them. So therefore, I'm writing it all down, and you'll all have it. You won't have to try to get into a private audience, and this will give you advice, anything that's bothering you in serving Hashem, and you will be able to rely. You can trust that Hashem will help you find your needs, your request. As long as you try to, Hashem will finish it off for you. And then it says a person who feels that they can't understand something should ask his community members to teach it to the rabbis in his community, the great people. They will explain it to him. And I ask that they don't act humble and a false humility, chas v'shalom, and they will withhold wheat from those that are hungry. And great is the merit of someone who shines, who shares their understanding. And Hashem is Meir Einei Shnehem Hashem. Hashem will give light to the eyes of both, because Hashem will shine His face to them. Or Pnei Melech Chayim, and Hashem will give us the merit that we should be able to have the time of Mashiach, where it says Molo Haaretz Deos Hashem Kamayim Layom Machasim Amen Ken Yehi Ratzoin. And that basically is the well, there's one little more point of the Alter Rebbe brings about all the fact that, you know, all these different publications that were the copying mistakes that were happening, and therefore we're printing it, and we also ask that no one should print it and hurt the publishers. And basically copyright in those days was a 5-year thing, and so they're constantly, they had to make the copyright every 5 years. That was the limit of how long a copyright was. I think nowadays it's 75 years, but I guess in Russia it was 5 years. And that concludes the introduction to the Tanya. Everyone have a wonderful day.